I haven't watched this game in years. The level of talent on the field right now is ridiculous.
Le'Veon, Keith, BJ, Keyshawn.
Martin breaks free. Touchdown, Spartans.
And no lead is safe with Russell Wilson at quarterback.
Wilson, touchdown.
It was definitely a rough battle.
We are down to 4 seconds.
Kirk Cousins, now he's in a position where he's going to have to deliver the football when Wisconsin knows it's coming.
My goal was just to make sure it lands in that 10-yard window of the end zone.
Cousins, on the last play of regulation, chucks it to the end zone. Caught! Michigan State's caught it on a rebound.
They were telling me he's in. I'm telling you, he's in.
Touchdown, Michigan State.
Now that part I haven't forgotten. It just goes down as one of the most special opportunities to play the game.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to BTN Video Recall. My name is Gerry DiNardo, and I'm going to have the pleasure of being joined by several of the members of the 2011 Michigan State football team. We are going to watch the number 15 Michigan State Spartans beat number 4 Wisconsin Badgers in East Lansing in 2011. And so to get started, I'm going to turn this over to Kirk Cousins, who's going to introduce his teammates, and we'll begin to watching the game soon.
Thanks, Coach. I'm joined here by several of my teammates back from 2011. So I'm Kirk Cousins, and I'm here with Bennie Fowler. Bennie was a receiver with our team, a couple of years younger than me. Went on to win the Rose Bowl and play several years in the NFL. Also Darqueze Dennard, a Thorpe Award winner who also played in the Rose Bowl a couple of years after I graduated, and was a first-round pick, has played several years in the NFL. And Jerel Worthy. Jerel and I came out the same year to the NFL. Jerel was a second-round draft pick and had a great NFL career. And also joined by Coach Dantonio. Grateful to have him join us. And then Keith Nichol has joined us as well, who really is the man of the hour, who, as we know, makes the play to win the game, but had a tremendous career at Michigan State and will go down forever in the history books with Michigan State Spartans. So appreciate you guys all joining us, and I look forward to kind of just chatting through this game and reliving the glory days, and kind of hopefully you guys can remind me of some things that I forgot about this game as we watch it and talk through it.
For sure.
Well, Kirk, I think one of the things that maybe you guys forgot is you didn't get off to a fast start, as I remember.
No, we didn't. I believe we got down 14-0, but oh my goodness. Not what you want when you're at home in prime time. College game day came to be there for that game. And I remember I was sitting in my hotel room as we were waiting around for the game because it was a night game. And on College game day, I saw that everybody had picked Wisconsin to beat us. And that upset me, and it upset a lot of my teammates. And I think that we put a chip on our shoulder and kind of used it as motivation. But unfortunately, it didn't cause us to come out of the gates as fast as we would have liked.
2nd and 9, and now the changeup.
And he sees 2 high safeties. Got to run the football here.
Baker and Borland cut him off and then got help.
Hey, guys, here's Mike Sadler's first punt of the game. And, you know, I know this might be tough, difficult to talk about, but Coach D, let's start with you. Maybe some of your thoughts about Mike Sadler.
You know, Mike had a unique way of being almost like a glue to our whole football team in so many different ways. And I think at that point in time, he was in 2011, he would have been I think 14 was his senior year, so he would have been a sophomore or so. But just an outstanding young man, great gift, very intelligent guy. I think he's extremely well liked by all the players. He was the guy that you could really count on in crunch situations. I mean, really a lot of the different fakes that we've designed really was because of the guy that was doing it. And he was involved in many of those things as we went forward. But tremendous loss for the Michigan State Spartan community. And but we'll forever hold Mike in the palm of our hand.
Appreciate that, Coach. Anyone else have any comments about Mike?
Yeah, Mike is he was an incredible person, an incredible friend, and why I have the shirt on today. But losing a guy like Mike, it's very tough. And not only Mike, MYLAN HICKS is on this team as well, who was also another high energy guy who meant a lot to our program. And these are just two great people, and they resemble what a Spartan is. So yeah.
Yeah, I think you got to go back and you got to talk a little bit about MYLAN a little bit. MYLAN HICKS was a guy that so competitive, so confident, extremely liked by our football team and by everybody he ever touched, and tremendous young man. And we'll miss him as well.
Covering you guys for what it's been 13, 14 years, it always seemed like there really was a family atmosphere at State, and I've always appreciated that. And I think, Benny, what you said and what Coach said about two former players is really significant and appreciated.
Marty is stoned and driven back, and there's the big fella Worthy.
That was an enormous play by Jerel.
Yeah, Jerel, what was the line of scrimmage like in this game? Big offensive line, big defensive line. Tell us what it's like.
You definitely had to bring your lunch pail each and every play. There was, the type of talent Wisconsin produced on the offensive line year in and year out. It was unmatched. These guys, I believe, have at least 3 first-round picks on their offensive line at this point. And we just wanted to come into the game and compete. We knew we had the talent to compete with them, but at the same time, run 2-3 tight end sets, and they continue to try to run the ball down your throat. And so we just came into the game wanting to compete and compete at a high level. And they started out with their script rolling, and we didn't necessarily get off to the best start, but we had an opportunity to make some plays, and we got a chance to get some things rolling. So it was pretty exciting.
And now we get going. You really depend on your teammates to get you going sometimes, and we didn't score points early. It took our defense putting points on the board to get us going. And then we run a double reverse with one of the best athletes on our team, Keyshawn Martin. And next thing you know, we're right back in the game.
The safety turned it back toward the Spartans, and now they score their first touchdown.
I forgot.
Right after
Special teams was huge this game. I remember that.
Yes.
That's the one thing I remember about this game.
Yes.
Special teams?
I forgot about that. Special teams.
These are the forgotten plays of the game. When you think about a block kick, there's Quez. It makes a huge difference. Quez, did you think you had a shot at blocking that kick before the ball was snapped, or did it kind of surprise you that you had a chance?
Yeah, I think I was surprised because
fast as lightning, baby. Fast as lightning.
But I was able to get underneath and I was surprised for sure.
4th and 2.
And then here we go on 4th down. I think we decided to go for it. Coach D gambles. We got to talk about that decision to go for it here, Coach, and not punt. I guess we got a short field.
Yeah, got a short field a little bit. Got to believe in your people, and great play, great throw by you, BJ, and he splits the defenders and takes it to the house. And, but 4th and 2, you got to lean on your offense a little bit, lean on your defense. We've done that a lot over the course of time, and this one was a big one.
I remember not feeling like the play was open. As I dropped back, the ball was supposed to come out sooner, and I didn't really have a clear window, but it was 4th down, so I had to throw it somewhere. And I remember thinking, I'm just going to throw this as hard as I can at BJ, and hopefully it gets through a lot of traffic. And that was probably the highest velocity pass I ever threw at Michigan State, because I threw it so hard it almost wasn't catchable. But BJ has great hands, and he came down with it and then did the rest.
Martin is back deep. And remember, they've blocked a field goal. They now block a punt, and here we go. They'll fall on it.
There's Bennie Fowler with the punt recovery.
Yeah. We knew we were going to block that all week. Coach Tressel was very, very adamant about this scheme, and it was going to work. I was too excited. I couldn't get a hold of the ball until I got into the end zone.
Kyler Ellsworth blocked that, then he picked it up.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I hate to interrupt this call, but there's rumors that a Hall of Fame coach wants to get in on this conversation, and you guys might know who he is.
Welcome, Coach.
Well, first of all, it's good to see Coach D and Gerry and all you guys. Believe it or not, on that night, one of the rare nights, I think I've missed 5 football games in my 37 years, home games. And that night, for Gerry and Mark, I was getting inducted into the Italian Hall of Fame in Chicago. And as they were announcing me, and there were some great guys, Teddy Bruschi was there, and a couple of boxers. And as they were announcing me, I was listening on the radio. And I said, wait, we're down to this last play or two. And so I had to go up there. I get up there, and there were a bunch of Spartan fans in the back, and they all started cheering. And then they put it on the TV, and I got a chance to watch it. I said, the hell with the speech. Let's enjoy the Spartans. And so that's how I remember that game. And, of course, had a little special time with Keith when we first were recruiting him. So, Kirk, it's great to see you, and all you other guys. It's great. Benny used to be famous in football. Now I got your brother here as a GA in basketball. He's going to supersede you if you don't watch it. So we got a lot of good things going on, guys.
Good to see you, Coach.
You know what, guys? I just want to thank all of you. I mean, you're right. I'm a huge football fan, and you guys brought some great times to us. In fact, Coach D was so kind that he gave me the ring from back there in that 10, 11, 12, those great runs. But I want to tell each one of you a little something, too. Kirk, I got you and Benny to a Final Four last year. I'm waiting for a Super Bowl. Benny, you've been to one. I don't know the rest of you guys, but Kirk, you got your work cut out now because, we won this thing with mine, and look at how much bigger yours is. Shows that the football guys got better than the basketball guys. But in general, you owe me a Super Bowl. So
You're absolutely right. You better hold me to that.
Oh, I will.
That's right. Well, the quarterback of the other team already has a Super Bowl title, so it's only right for me to get one at some point.
Absolutely.
3rd down and 11. Got the man open and dumped it off to Martin. Turns the corner. Touchdown.
This is an unbelievable play by Keyshawn. On 3rd and 11, we check it down versus zone coverage underneath. And we really should be settling for a field goal, and it should be 4th and 5. And Keyshawn takes it all the way to the sideline for a touchdown. That's just an unbelievable individual effort to be able to do that.
Z-jerk.
That's right. And I'm just conceding the down and saying, hey, we're going to have to kick a field goal, and that's it. Play didn't get us the first down. But Jims and Joes sometimes are better than just the X's and O's, and made a great play.
Keyshawn was the one player that just gave him the ball in his hands. You never knew it was going to happen, and it was usually a good thing.
This ended up being a crucial play because we have a tie game before the Hail Mary, and if we don't hit this, we would have been losing. And that was just a smash fade type route, contested catch, just kind of put the ball up for a 50-50 opportunity, and BJ does what he had done for 4 years.
Great throw, great catch. Players make plays. And there was no doubt they were going to go for 2 there just because of the situation relative to the score of the game.
Jerel, what's it like up front at this point of the game?
Oh man, it's it's a heavy competition, man. Looking at Russell Wilson, seeing what he's been able to do all game, what he's been doing all season. And, it's a lot different because Wisconsin is known for the ground and pound, but they're down at this point in time. So we're trying to, hit home on our blitzes and our 4-man rushes. And, they end up, he sneaks out the gate and makes a touchdown. So we're trying to, adjust on the sideline and continue to keep moving forward. With Russell Wilson being the quarterback of this ground and pound team, he brings a different element. So.
No lead is safe with Russell Wilson at quarterback. I've learned that in the pros again and again.
Absolutely not. Especially being a part of the Fail Mary in the NFL, man, with the refs. I was out there, man, competing with him, and it's never over till it's over.
How much, Jerel, does your rush have to change to focus on containing as opposed to just trying to go upfield blindly? You know, did you have to kind of slow your rush to make sure you didn't lose sight of where Russell was?
Yeah, because he's not even really 6 feet, and he's very slippery. And at the end of the day, he keeps his eyes down the field. And so even though he's running around, he still wants to throw the football. And you never really could get past the upfield shoulder. You want to try to come in on the inside of his shoulder to keep him contained. But obviously with his athleticism, that was a little bit tough to do during these matches we had.
Quez, what was your thought process like with covering when a quarterback starts running around like that and you've got to keep covering? That's probably not your favorite moment.
No, it's not. Just because it's basically go back to street. It's like street football. Like you go this way, you go that way. Obviously, it's people are planning it out more. If you short, go long. If you long, come back to the ball. But just running around, period, like it's already hard covering, but now you covering one-on-one for 6-7 seconds. So it's tough.
He's just such a natural at scrambling. I mean, he extends the play when nothing's there, and next thing you know, it's a touchdown. It's tough to defend because if you cover your guy, he continues to run around. If you go for him, you avoid a zone, and he finds somebody open. It's easy to say, but it's hard to do, and he has a knack for being able to do it, and that's why he's a Super Bowl champion and has played as long as he has.
Yeah, I think Jerel said it best. He scrambles to throw, that's what really makes him dangerous. He's not scrambling to run. He's scrambling to throw. It's hard to defend.
Yes, sir. He's really poised when the rush is on, and at the end of the day, when you have those good qualities as a quarterback, Kirk, you've been in some tight situations where you've got the ball out and helped your team be successful in some offensive drives, and that just breeds a lot of confidence for the players in the huddle that everything is going to be okay. So, quarterbacks that have that calmness about them, it really helps their offense in tight situations.
You really look at these last two drives, and it's all a bit about him just making plays. As the play breaks down, his first reach breakdown, he sort of, whether it's ad-libs or however you wanted to characterize it, he brings it. And they're back in the game because of him.
It's got to get frustrating as a coach when you prepare all week and you actually defended the play well, and then it's still, they still find a way. When you actually, in your preparation, you had your guys are ready to go.
Yeah. It's just what Jerel says, sort of that capture mode with him. You want him to keep him in the pocket, restrict his running on the back end there because he's not that tall, but even in the NFL, he finds windows to throw the football. This is unbelievable segment of plays here. You think of that last play, but there's a lot of critical plays here in this series that allow us to win the football.
We used to end every training camp practice with a 2-minute drill, and usually ended most of our practice weeks with a 2-minute drill. And so you had us ready for the moment. You certainly did.
Yeah, this is sort of crazy. Some stuff going on here sort of gets some big plays, great calls, great throws, great decision making.
When I was a younger quarterback, I would have forced the ball down the field more, but I had learned that, especially with a defense as smart as Wisconsin, to keep everything in front of them, you just got to take what they give you. And if that means a short check down, so be it. And try to find the check downs that are to the sideline so that you can stop the clock. But don't force anything. You don't have to get it all in one play. Let the game come to you. And I think that's kind of what at least gives you a chance at a Hail Mary, although you would have loved to have gotten further down the field and not had to throw a Hail Mary. But we were able to at least get to midfield and give ourselves a chance.
The strategy is so interesting because, you're not losing the game. It's tied. So you can always play it a little safer if you wanted to, bring it to overtime. I think this is a very unique strategy when it's tied up and it's a 2-minute drill, as opposed, obviously, to needing a field goal to win in a 2-minute drill. I think play calling here is really interesting and really difficult.
Well, right there on 3rd and 7, you don't want to throw an incompletion. So you don't want to stop the clock and give them 1 minute and 6 seconds to come back down the field. So my thought was we either got to get the first down, or I'm better off, taking a sack, making them use a timeout, or, finding a way to keep the clock running. So you have all these thoughts too about what if we have to punt and give the ball back to them? How do we use up clock? Yeah.
That's a problem.
That's a scary moment right there, guys.
Dan France.
Thank you for Joel Foreman and Dan France to be.
France, one of the big plays of the game.
Former defensive.
Foreman couldn't get the ball because his hands were so taped up. They're taped up to here. So Foreman put his hands. You can't even get him.
We nicknamed Joel Foreman the oven because his body shape resembled an oven.
It looks like he had mitts on the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
2nd and 21 is less than ideal.
Word, calm down.
Jerel's mad at us.
Not a lot of play calls.
Word, you're in the offensive huddle, man. Back up.
I have no idea.
Back up. You wouldn't be in the situation.
What are you doing?
Worth is saying, did you see what they just did going down the field? Do not give them the ball back.
Hey, look.
If you had an ineligible number, they'd put you in, Jerel.
I would have look max protection. I was ready. It didn't matter whatever we needed for the win.
It looked like you were talking to the other team, not your friends. You looked like you were mad at everybody.
Man, nah, it was definitely a rough battle, man. There was a lot of words exchanged throughout these 4 quarters.
2nd and 21. That's an easy call.
Try to get half back and get to a manageable 3rd down.
Yep.
Next mesh.
BJ had such a great game. So did Keyshawn and some of the other great players. I remember Le'Veon feeling like this was somewhat of a coming out party for him. He developed his whole career, and this seemed like this is one of the games that put him out in front of everybody else. I don't know what everybody else felt when they were watching him play through this game.
Yeah, I think we learned as I went through my senior year how much he was a complete player and not just a running back, but he was a great receiver. He was great with protections. And I think as we went through this season, we put more and more on his plate. And by the end of the year, we were having him run comeback routes and crossing routes in the Big Ten championship game and the Outback Bowl. And like you said, he kind of developed into a complete player who could do it all. And we kind of figured that out as the year went on.
Do you remember the play call here, Kirk?
Well, I don't remember this. This is where so many of these moments have completely faded from my memory. And it's amazing to see, if that fumble wasn't recovered by our offensive line, or if that punt hadn't been blocked or field goal hadn't been blocked, or those interceptions hadn't happened. You wonder how much does one of those plays turn the entire story, the result of this game, and then as a result, the tenor of that entire season.
Yeah, I remember this call. Wanted to do something that we didn't necessarily, that had a shot to put the ball in a guy's hands like Keyshawn Martin. It was going to be, we were going to at least get a completion out of it. And then if we didn't get the first down, that they'd be sloughing in coverage a little bit. And if we didn't get the first down, that then we could go ahead and punt it and go into overtime. But I thought the percentages were high that we were going to make the play. Thinking again, players make plays. I think we line up in quads here and then motion them across. I'm not sure.
That was a really good play call for all the reasons you just said.
Great call. Great call.
There's Le'Veon again.
And now the clock is more of our enemy than the down and distance.
Hey. That guy made a lot of plays in 4 years. Keyshawn, 82. Great check down.
I feel like I would take our skill position guys in an NFL game any day. If you gave me Le'Veon, Keith, Keyshawn, BJ, Deion Sims, and we all got to go play in the NFL, I think we'd be just fine.
We had a nice lineup at special teams as well.
No doubt. Kevin Muma handled the kickoffs, and Conroy handled the field goals.
Yeah.
The option routes been pretty successful for him. Cunningham at the top of the screen. Got that time out as they get this first down. Rolling back, throwing.
Oh.
That was a good idea to get outside and try to get a chunk so that then if you can get down to the 25, 20-yard line, now you're not in Hail Mary mode and you're able to have a true throw to the end zone. But you would have to get a chunk quickly.
Anybody remember the next play? What happened?
So if I remember right, we go up to the line of scrimmage here with the Hail Mary called to my left. And Coach Bielema calls a timeout, which is smart to kind of see how we align.
Right.
And we then go to the sideline, and Coach Dantonio just said to our offensive coaches on the headset, and I'm standing next to him so I can hear what he's saying. He said, you know, we got this play going to the left. Why don't we have it go to his right, just for his ease of being able to make the throw and roll out. I thought that made sense to me and was a good idea. So we flipped the play, and instead of going, 63 rocket, we went 62 rocket. And, who knows what would have happened if we had stayed to the left.
Yeah, the thing that I remembered, that happened, and then I asked, I think I asked Roshar or somebody, hey, can we pin the end and sort of dash to it? And I don't think we've ever practiced it. And I think maybe Le'Veon says, yeah, I can get him. And then that's exactly what happened. And then you great throw all the way down the goal line. Couldn't have been a better throw, better execution of the play. And I can't tell you how many times we work on these things in practice and they never work. So, really, to go up and, because you really don't want to practice it too often because there's so many different people down there in a pile getting hurt. So you really don't practice these things full go all the time. And so it's great to see one come to fruition. It might be the only one, I think, in my 13 years as head coach there, that maybe that we caught it on there like that.
Le'Veon did such a good job pinning the ends that I could get outside and buy time for the guys to get to the end zone.
Yeah.
Coach D, did the guys in the booth think it was a touchdown?
Yeah, they were telling me he's in. I'm telling you, he's in. I can't remember who was telling me that, but they were sort of insisting that it's a touchdown.
Keyshawn Martin is not one to show a lot of emotion. And when I looked up and I saw him yelling at the refs and with his arms out like this with emotion, I thought he probably is in.
Yeah.
Because Keyshawn wouldn't do that unless he was in.
I remember my favorite part about the call to the boundary was the fact that we had so many big bodies in a confined space like that I thought it gave us the upper hand. So I thought it was a huge play call and an opportunity for us to get Dion and BJ's back there, and I'm there. They had Eberderis back there. So they had a smaller lineup back there than we had by a significant amount.
Guys, when that play happened, there were a lot of Wisconsin fans because we were in Chicago, and they were all saying it wasn't good. And believe it or not, Muhammad Ali's trainer was one of the guys that was there for a guy, Angelo Dundee. And he became such a fan of your guys after. He died, I don't know, within a year, but he would call me. He'd watch your games after that because he said it's good, and everybody was saying it's not good. And me, I was so far up front, I couldn't see the little TV. So it was a pretty exciting moment. Kind of changed the whole demeanor of the night positively for me.
BJ had such strong hands. It was so ironic that the ball ended up bouncing off his face and going through his hands because usually he caught everything, including the touchdown catch he had earlier. But that's why he's so upset because he knew it hit his face mask and he missed a chance to catch it and that we came up short. But thankfully, Keith bailed him out. I
I figured he'd done so much work throughout the most of the game. I just picked him up there for the end, you know?
That's right.
We've had some incredible moments as a team in that corner.
In that end zone. I was just about to say that, bro. That end zone.
Giants, Rocket, all in that corner.
Little caper right there against Michigan. That end zone is special, man.
Yep. The overtime win against Michigan, that was a special place.
That's some great composure there, Keith. I mean, the way it is.
My goal was just to make sure it lands in that 10-yard window of the end zone. It's hard from the 50-yard line to get it to land in that window. And you really don't want it to land at the back of the end zone or the front of the end zone. You really want it to land right in the middle. So my goal was like, you know, when you're shooting with a pitching wedge in golf, just try to drop it right in the middle of the end zone. And looking back, it would have been nice if it was a yard or two further in.
After further review, the runner did cross the line, touchdown, Michigan State.
Now that part I haven't forgotten. Wow.
Can you guys compare this game to any other big games that you've been in? Where does this rank?
I think the fact that College Game Day was there, it was at our campus, we were seniors, it was a night game against the top team in the country, and as time would go on to show so many great players, I think it just goes down as one of the most special, you know, opportunities to play the game for me that I've ever had. And, you know, even when I got to the NFL, that's sort of around the league to play in the game that I was known for. Coach, don't have a heart attack after this one.
No, there were some great moments. There were some great moments that we've had over 13 years, and I would say this is one of them that's up there. And I forgot all the players that made all these plays and all the crucial moments in the game, really, that dictated the end result.
Seemed like one of those games where every play was important. It's just challenge after down, you challenge.
I remember walking off the field and reminding everybody we're probably going to have to see these guys again in the Big Ten championship game. So, in a way, I just felt like this isn't over. You know, this is really the first half of our battle against these guys for the year.
Hey guys, I'm going to have to get off, and so I'm going to have to say goodbye here because I've got a golf game I've got to go to. But
Coach, hey, always good to see you.
Thanks for having us on. I've watched this thing through. It's just unbelievable, these moments at the end of the game. You see the raw emotion of players after great moments of success, and there's nothing like it, and that's what makes football great. Go Green.
Much love, Coach.
I'll call you all again.
Sir, take care.
Thanks, Coach D. Thank you.
Right.
Hey, I know Coach D just left. You know, he's finished coaching now, as everybody knows. I'd be interested if some way he impacted your life.
We came together as assistants, him with Nick Saban, me with Judd Heathcote, and it started out that way in '86 or '7, whenever it was. And then, you know, when he came back as a head coach, I was on the committee to hire him. So I had a great appreciation, followed his career at Ohio State, followed his career at Cincinnati. And, you know, I look at these guys, and it's funny. I went to Keith's game when he was in between the recruitment when we were changing coaches. And remember the hook and ladder play against Muskegon, Kirk, in that game at your place, and biggest crowd I ever seen. I was there when Kirk, you know, and they said, you know, he's the last player recruited. And, you know, I just look at all you guys, Jerel and of course Darqueze, and what you guys have accomplished. And I just want to say thanks to Mark and these guys, because when I come back, I'm going to be a football coach. In my second life, I'm going to be. You know, it's my first love. And I got to be on the sidelines. I got to be on trips with these guys. Got to be at bowl games. Just the things that you guys all brought me. I want to say thank you to all you guys for the class you brought. And, of course, the Coach D, and we spent a lot of nights last January trying to figure out what he was going to do. He lives about a block from me. And I can't think of a classier guy and a stronger guy. And the only thing I'm disappointed in, Gerry, you look relaxed. Coach D never golfed. He's going golfing. And I'm still calling recruits. So what the hell am I doing here? I should be joining you two guys.
We all make choices, Coach. We all make choices.